Deep in the Pacific is a small island called Nukuoro. It is an atoll made of many small pieces of land surrounding a lagoon. Nukuoro is part of Pohnpei State, but its people speak a Polynesian language and carry their own unique identity. To understand Nukuoro today, we must first go back to its beginning. The history of Nukuoro is remembered in two important ways. Archaeology helps show when people began living on the atoll. Oral traditions explain where the people came from, who their ancestors were, and how the island was created. These stories were passed down through generations. One creation story begins with a pearl beneath the ocean. According to Nukuoro oral tradition, Labiology came down from the rainbow with his family. They traveled across the ocean in a double-hulled canoe, searching for a place to live. When they found the right area, they placed a pearl beneath the water. From that pearl, the circular reef of Nukuoro began to grow. The reef of Nukuoro was already there, but no land had formed yet. According to oral tradition, a spirit named Sogo traveled around the reef carrying a basket of sand. As he moved, sand fell from the basket into the ocean. Over time, those piles of sand became the small islands surrounding Nukuoro's lagoon. Another important Nukuoro story begins far away in Samoa. After a leader died, his sons struggled over who would inherit leadership. Vave, the younger son, did not win. He left Samoa with family members and companions. Together, they sailed across the Pacific, searching for a new island where they could build a home. According to oral tradition, Vave and his companions first reached Kapingamarangai, but people were already living there, so the travelers continued sailing north. Eventually, they arrived at Nukuoro. They faced challenges when they reached the atoll, but the voyagers remained. Their descendants became part of the community whose identity continues today. Some Nukuoro traditions tell different endings to Vave's journey. In one version, Vave later traveled away from the island with his companions. When the voyagers became trapped at sea, Vave sacrificed himself to save the others. His story became a lesson about leadership, responsibility, courage, and placing the lives of your people before your own. Life on Nukuoro required cooperation. The island had limited land and resources, so families depended on one another. People gathered fish from the lagoon and ocean. They also grew taro and used coconuts for food, tools, and shelter. Knowledge about fishing, farming, canoes, and island survival was passed down by elders. Before Christianity reached Nukuoro, the community followed its own spiritual traditions. Sacred places, ceremonies, priests, family spirits, and ancestors were important parts of island life. Carved wooden figures known as Dinonga Aidu represented spiritual beings connected to families and ceremonies. These carvings were sacred objects, not simply decorations or pieces of artwork. During the 1800s, foreign ships began visiting Nukuoro more often. Traders, missionaries, and collectors brought new religions, goods, and outside influence. Some sacred carvings were removed from the island and later placed in museums overseas. These visits slowly changed Nukuoro's traditional spiritual life, economy, leadership, and relationship with the outside world. Christian teachings reached Nukuoro through missionaries and Nukuoro people who had traveled to other islands. Over time, more families accepted the new faith. Traditional ceremonies connected to the sacred carvings began to end. A Christian church eventually became an important center of community life. This created a major change in Nukuoro's religious history. Like many islands in Micronesia, Nukuoro came under several foreign governments. The wider Caroline Islands were controlled by Spain, Germany, Japan, and later the United States Trust Territory. When the Federated States of Micronesia became self-governing, Nukuoro remained a municipality of Pohnpei State while continuing to protect its own language and island identity. Today, Nukuoro people live on the atoll Pohnpei, Guam, the United States, and other places. Even when families move away, their language, family history, and connection to Nukuoro remain important. Nukuoro proves that a small island can carry centuries of knowledge and identity. Next, we continue the journey with Kapingamarangai.